Hi, this is Shelley Kraft, and we're coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the Sprott Natural Resource Symposium, Vancouver, 2014. With me is Govind Friedland of GoviEx, a uranium company. GoviEx Uranium, symbol GXU on the CSE. Welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you. It's so good to be here. Thank you, Shelley.
It's good to have you. Let's get right into it. The word uranium today has so many meanings as far as the energy world is concerned, but let's get an overview of GoviEx.
Okay, well, GoviEx has conducted one of the largest mineral explorations over the last 10 years. We've drilled almost 700,000 meters in West Africa and Niger, and we've been fortunate we've discovered one of the largest and highest grade undeveloped uranium projects in Africa.
And that wasn't easy, was it?
No, it was a Herculean effort, but we have a 100% local team advancing a monster project in Africa.
Now, offtake-wise, are you going to go to the point where you're going to be producing, or are you exploration, development? I always like to clear that up early.
Yeah, we are in the process of converting from an exploration company to an operating company. We are at the final throes of completing an environmental permit. We've just completed our IPO, and the use of the proceeds was to finalize the environmental and social impact assessment. Our feasibility study has been complete, so sometime next year we're anticipating applying for the mining permit. We have Toshiba Corporation as one of our largest shareholders. Of course, Toshiba owns Westinghouse and one of the world's largest nuclear reactor vendors. We also have Cameco Corporation, one of the world's largest uranium producers, as one of our strategic partners as well.
I'm very impressed. This is good partnerships.
Yeah, we have industry-leading partners that have been brought to Africa for the first time, which demonstrates the company's success so far.
What's your background?
I'm an exploration geologist. I went to the Colorado School of Mines. I grew up in the mining business. My whole family's in the mining business.
I recognize the name. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, he happens to have a very famous family in the industry. You want to give us a little background on that?
Start
with your father.
What can I say? No, he's quite a figure in the industry, and so I grew up in the mining business, and it's been a pleasure and an honor to follow in his footsteps.
You know, the fact that you followed in his footsteps and you went into the industry is both a credit to you, your education, and your family, because I know I'm in a family business, so I know the feeling. Let me ask you a question. When you went into uranium, why did you pick uranium over gold? Why did you pick uranium over any other resource? Because you've made a commitment.
Yeah, that's an easy question to answer. From 2001 to 2011, 10 years, I lived in Beijing, and I'm a runner. So I used to train running around Chaoyang Park. And if you look out the window, you realize what is China's biggest problem, which is, of course, air pollution. So my father always says that as long as you can sell something to the Chinese, as long as you have something that the Chinese need, then you'll probably be okay. So anticipating this back in 2006, when we looked around the world to where you could find some of the largest and highest grade uranium deposits. And of course, in Canada, there's a very long permitting process. In Australia, and equally so. In fact, many places you can't mine uranium in Australia. In Kazakhstan, you have to deal with the Russians, which can be prohibitive. And then so after that, you go to Africa. And when we go to Africa, we looked in Namibia. We weren't attracted there because the grades were so low, and there's many issues with water and power. So after that is Niger. Niger is about 8% of the world's production. So we saw an opportunity, a special situation, to go where we could buy a very large land package, 2007, which is when we acquired the land, and then we partnered with Cameco in 2008, and we've been averaging somewhere between 10 and 20,000 meters a month up until last year.
So you have a built-in vertical chain for offtake sales. Am I correct? You're going to expand that outside of that?
Yes, we signed a strategic deal with Toshiba Corporation after Fukushima in 2012, And as part of that, we also signed an offtake agreement with AUAM, which is partially owned by Toshiba. It's a Westinghouse joint venture, but it's unique in the sense that we have no liability to deliver until our board declares or approves a budget that leads to commercial production in excess of 2.7 million pounds. And of course, that's subject to government and regulatory approvals. But we've greatly de-risked the project from a technical perspective to feasibility standards in terms of power, water, infrastructure, human resources, labor, and of course, offtake.
Are you living in West Africa now, or are you going to stay where you are?
Yeah, no, we live in the time zone. Both myself, I'm the executive chairman. I was the CEO for the first 6 or 7 years. And also our CEO, Daniel Major, also is in the time zone. So commerce travels much better north-south than it does east-west, so we stay in the same time zone as the project.
Makes sense. So where do you see the company 2015, 2016? You know, what's your little bit of, forecast?
Well, we are planning to apply for the mining permit next year. There's under the code, there's about a 4-month process. Where all the taxes and royalties and the fiscal regime's already been negotiated. That's usually the toughest part. Right. So if that goes smoothly, we would have a mining permit sometime next year, and then we have 2 years from which to start construction.
Well, that sounds exciting. I'm sure you're pumped.
Yeah, it's a monster project, and we've done a huge amount of community work. And the fact that we have a 100% Nigerian policy with Nigerian nationals occupying every single leadership position, from country manager, exploration, technical, legal, accounting function, is all Nigerian. So we'd be creating hundreds and hundreds of jobs, maybe thousands of jobs during the construction phase. So it's really important to the country of Niger that, of course, is heavily reliant on uranium exports.
Your website.
Yes. Our website, please look for us on www.goviex.com. That's GOVIEX.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Govind, Friedland, GoviEx Uranium, publicly traded company, and the symbol is GXU on the CSE. Govind, I want to thank you for coming on to SNNLive.
Absolute pleasure.
Good to have you.
Look forward to seeing you again.
You got it.